Divine protection for Israel during difficult times. Throughout history, Israel has faced countless challenges and moments of uncertainty. Yet many firmly believe that in every crisis, God's hand has been present, protecting and guiding this people through danger. In this video, we'll discuss how divine protection is understood by those who believe the historical and current events that have reinforced this faith, and what this belief means during times of trial. 1. The promise of divine protection in the Bible. To understand this topic, it's essential to remember that the Bible is filled with promises from God to His people Israel. These promises go back thousands of years and carry profound meanings. From the Bible's earliest books, God promises to be with Israel and protect them from their enemies. In Genesis, God says to Abraham, "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse." This promise of protection and blessing has provided a foundation of faith and hope for generations. In the book of Isaiah, God reiterates His commitment to care for His people. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you, be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." This passage has served as a powerful reminder for centuries that God is seen as Israel's protector, especially during times of crisis. 2. The history of Israel and divine protection. Israel's history is filled with moments when its people faced unimaginable dangers and challenges. One of the earliest examples is the story of the Exodus, when Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. According to the Bible, God showed His power by parting the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape from the Egyptian soldiers chasing them. This story has become a symbol of divine intervention in times of great danger. Over the centuries, Israel has been surrounded by nations that often sought to dominate or even destroy it. Yet, despite the conflicts and difficulties Israel has endured, many believe that its survival over time is proof of God's protection over His people. A more recent example that some see as divine protection was the creation of the State of Israel in 1948. After almost 2,000 years of exile and dispersion, the Jewish people returned to their ancestral land. This return was seen by many as a fulfillment of biblical prophecy and a sign that God was once again protecting and guiding His people in a hostile world. 3. Divine protection in the current conflict. Today, Israel finds itself in a region of high political and military tension. Conflicts in the Middle East have placed Israel in a complicated position, often surrounded by enemies. Despite peace treaties and strategic alliances, the nation faces constant threats from attacks, terrorism, and diplomatic tensions. For many believers, the fact that Israel continues to exist and even prosper despite these challenges is proof of divine intervention. There are testimonies from soldiers, civilians, and Israeli leaders who recount experiences where they felt protected in critical moments, whether in battles or high-risk situations. One example of divine protection often mentioned is the Shield of David, known as the Iron Dome defense system, which intercepts missiles in the air to protect Israeli cities and populations. Though this system is the result of advanced technology and military preparation, many see it as an extension of God's promise to protect His people. 4. The perception of protection in contemporary Israeli society. In Israeli society, the perception of divine protection is diverse and complex. Some clearly see God's hand in the events and achievements Israel has reached. For others, though they don't deny God's protection, human effort and planning are also seen as important. Some believe that God's protection doesn't imply an absence of suffering or conflict, but rather the strength to overcome difficult moments and move forward. This idea is based on the belief that God is present but also allows people to face challenges for their growth and resilience. 5. Current examples of faith and protection. In Israel, there are stories of people who have experienced extreme situations and attribute their survival to God's protection. One frequently shared example is that of soldiers who, in the heat of battle, felt inexplicably guided or protected. These testimonies strengthen the belief that in times of danger, God is present and active. Additionally, the faith of many families in Israel has strengthened amid tension and violence. Some find comfort and strength in the scriptures, reciting psalms and prayers as a spiritual refuge in uncertain times. Psalm 121, for example, is one passage many in Israel recite to remember God's protection. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. 6. Prayer as a source of protection. For many in Israel, prayer is a powerful way to connect with God and seek protection. In times of crisis, it's common to see mass prayers in sacred places like the Western Wall in Jerusalem. There are thousands of people from different parts of the world gather to ask for peace, protection, and strength. Prayer is seen not only as a petition, but as an act of faith and trust in God. Even in dangerous moments, prayer is a reminder that while situations may be challenging, God remains a source of shelter and security. 7. The role of religious and spiritual leaders. In times of crisis, Israel's religious leaders also play a vital role in reaffirming faith and hope in divine protection. During conflicts or attacks, many rabbis and religious leaders encourage people to stand firm in their faith, reminding them of God's promises and Israel's history of survival. These leaders not only guide in prayer but also offer words of comfort and strength, urging people to trust in God's plan, knowing that even though times may be tough, Israel is not alone. 8. Interpreting protection in times of peace and conflict. Divine protection isn't only seen during times of war or crisis. For many Israelis, peace and prosperity during times of calm are also viewed as manifestations of God's blessing and protection. Israel's agriculture, technology, and economic development are, by some, considered signs of divine blessing. However, peace is fragile in the Middle East, and whenever tensions arise, faith in God's protection regains significance. Belief in divine protection doesn't mean there will be no problems, rather, it's the conviction that Israel will endure despite challenges. 9. A message of hope for the future. For many, faith in God's protection offers a hopeful message for the future. Despite today's challenges, believers in Israel and around the world trust that God will continue to care for His people. This hope is rooted in biblical promises and in Israel's history of overcoming great obstacles while maintaining their faith. For believers, divine protection is a source of strength, not only in Israel but across the world, reminding people that God is present and that regardless of circumstances, He has a plan for His people. 10. The story of Job and resilience in times of trials. To better understand the concept of divine protection in the face of challenges, it's worth remembering the story of Job in the Bible. Job was a righteous man who faced enormous trials, losing his health, wealth, and family, yet he never stopped trusting in God. Job's story represents those who, even in the darkest situations, continue to believe in God's protection and purpose, even if they don't understand the reasons for their suffering. Just as Job faced adversity with patience and faith, the people of Israel have also endured trials and suffering, yet they continue to hold on to the hope that God is with them. This message of perseverance and faith serves as a reminder to people of all backgrounds, encouraging them to find strength in difficult moments and trust that, ultimately, God's plans are just and purposeful. 11. Lessons of faith for the modern world. Faith in divine protection isn't limited to Israel. People around the world face challenges in their daily lives, whether they be personal conflicts, family struggles, or crises of faith. Israel's story and its relationship with God can be a source of inspiration for those seeking hope in their own lives. Seeing how Israel, despite being a small nation, has persevered across the centuries, many people find an example of strength and resilience. The idea that God can guard and protect, even in dark times, can offer comfort to those searching for spiritual support in difficult moments. 12. Final reflection on divine protection. In the end, the belief in divine protection over Israel invites us to reflect on faith and the power of hope. Israel's history demonstrates that even in seemingly impossible circumstances, faith can be a source of strength and guidance. For believers, God's protection is more than just comfort. It's a reality that brings meaning and purpose to their lives, offering hope for the future. Israel's story is one of faith, perseverance, and belief in God's protection. From biblical promises to current events, many believe that God has been with His people, guiding and protecting them every step of the way. In a world full of complexity and challenges, faith in divine protection remains a source of hope and comfort for millions. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore how God protects Israel amid current dangers. We hope this topic has been enlightening and inspiring. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about faith, history, and the mysteries of spirituality. See you in the next video.